Run, party, repeat. Welcome to the East Coast Adventures Dirt and Vert Podcast, where we talk all things running, racing, and training to help you get ready for your next big adventure.
Learn from our successes and our failures, and have fun at the same time. Join us right here every week with inspiring guests who share their captivating tales from the trails. And remember, nobody cares.
Run faster. All right. Welcome back to the Dirt and Vert Podcast. I'm David.
And I'm Matt.
And we have a guest, a returning guest with us, actually. You probably remember Lauren back from when we had her on after her No Business, when she was being chased by the moon. I still remember this story. It was a great story. But Lauren has really just had an amazing career since we had her on this podcast. We wanted to get her back and catch up. So we're not going to ask her the question we ask everybody, because if you really want to know a little bit about who she is and how she got into running, you can go back and listen to that episode. This episode is going to be about the last 2 years and kind of how she's managed to do some new things. And for everybody that doesn't know, she's actually about to do something really big in 10 days, and she's going to go represent Team USA in France for the 24-hour team, and that's really cool. So
That is, yeah.
She did her first track race as a practice run, and then a month later goes on to run 154 miles in 24 hours and PR her 100-miler in that. But, Lauren, if you don't care, just tell us a little bit about, I would really like to just start off like at the first of 2024, which you did the Bandera 100K, but you also did the Jackpot Ultras. And just curious, like when you came back from No Business, you had, that was a big race for you because you had broke your ankle the year before, right? And and that was like a redemption run. You come back and you have an amazing performance there, but you haven't stopped since then. And just curious, like, did that set a fire under you when you had to sit out from No Business, and what has changed for you?
Yeah, absolutely. Just like, I was like turning 40 at the time when I broke my ankle. I thought I was like kind of at the peak of like running. I was feeling so good, and then you take this big hit. So then sitting out and watching like possibly your like running career go away, definitely makes you want to like dive in and go harder at it. So it was like you said, like really special to come back to No Business and get that win there. That was like I don't know, like probably one of my favorite running experiences of all time. That was really cool. And then I don't know, I just wanted to like really try some different things. And I wanted to see like how fast I could really run 100 miles before I was like too old and not fit anymore to really capitalize on the speed that I had built over the last bunch of years. And so I did Bandera, like you said, early in the year. That was like a girls' trip. My two girlfriends and I went out and we just like to go run and always get like a Western States qualifier under our belts early in the year and
I
then
love it.
get that done. So we did that. That was fun. We had a blast. And then I had to face off with like a longhorn bull like in the last couple miles of the race. It was crazy.
Wow.
I was like it was like 2 or 3 miles from the end, and it was like dusk. The sun was just starting to get like it was getting like a little dark outside, but not dark yet. And I turned this corner, and this giant bull with like I don't know. I've never seen a longhorn bull in person before. I've just seen pictures. They are bigger than normal cows, and he was just standing right in the middle of the trail. And so that was a little scary for a second. That was a new experience for sure. He did not gore me or anything. It was fine, but he just kind of turned around and went away. Um, so that was really fun. That definitely like it made put a little excitement in the end of that race for sure. But then yeah, I was like signed up to come back and do Jackpot, which is going to be my first like flat paved like quote unquote fast 100. Like 100 that's like set up for speed and all that stuff. First like looped course, all that kind of stuff. So it's just like a different kind of training. Just kind of like trying to get some leg speed back in, not trying to do all the hills and all those things. It's just a little bit different training, but it was really fun to kind of like dig in there and get a little speed back. I didn't have a huge training block because Bandera wasn't that far ahead of it. Um, but it went really well, and I got like PR'd my 100 by like 5 hours, which is like, that's going from trail to road. So it's obvious you're going to go faster. But I went under 15 hours, which I never in a million years expected. I was just trying to shoot for like the B qualifier for Desert Solstice, which is like, I forget now, like 16 something. And then did better than that. Ended up getting the A qualifier. That was just like a really cool experience that like I never thought in a million years I would ever come close to something like that. To have a 14 something, that was just like that's what good runners do, It's like there's no way. Like that's not the time I got. They got it wrong.
Lauren's a good runner.
That was like a really cool experience. And then actually that later that year, I went to Tahoe 200 and DNF there. So it was like totally changing gears from like the flat fast back to like the hilly mountain stuff, altitude, all the things. So I had a rough race there. Uh, Side note, I ended up doing CPR on a guy at the start line the day before I packet picked.
Oh wow.
At
Um,
Tahoe?
yeah, like we were standing
Wow.
in line to get our packets and like do medical checks and all that stuff. And this like hiker was out with his family and collapsed. So I went and helped
Oh
them do
wow.
that. So I feel like even though I DNF, so maybe it was worth it, you know?
Yeah.
Man, that's crazy.
Uh, so that was like a crazy thing. Yeah. So came back from there and was like, okay, I got that out of my system. I just wanted to try Tahoe, and of course signed up again for the next year, but I was like, back burner, we'll go see that later. Like we've got some other fish to fry. So I spent the whole rest of the summer just like really dialing in and trying to get some speed back. With the thought that like, okay, you're gonna go run for 24 hours. You know, the goal was to try to qualify for the team. And so but I knew it was like pretty competitive already, even before Solstice, which of course Solstice is always going to put up some big numbers. So I already had in my mind that like unless you hit 150, like you're not safe on the team. There's already so many good ladies qualified for it. And I didn't want to be on the cusp and like stressing from like December to May when they choose the team. So my goal, my thought was, my coach and I were like, okay, the more comfortable you can get, the more comfortable get with the more speed, the better like the like slower pace will feel for the pace that you need to hit that mileage. So we just built speed and lots of volume, lots of speed all through the summer, heat and humidity here in Atlanta. Luckily, solstice is in December, so we got to, go through the summer and then get through the fall weather, which is really nice and cool off. And then, of course, I love the desert because it's so dry. It's so different than here, where it's just so muggy and humid. I just feel like it goes so much better. Yeah, it was pretty cool though. Like I was running paces I had never run in my entire life. I didn't run cross country or track or anything. I didn't run younger. I found this like later in life, in my like late 20s, early 30s. And so I'd never like been this young kid who ran really fast. But hitting paces that I had never seen before, never dreamt I'd see before on long runs and like workout runs. And it was just a really cool feeling to be in your 40s and getting faster. Um,
Absolutely.
that's not something you usually expect. And so I don't know, I had a great training block going to Solstice and I felt really good and really confident. It was just like, I don't know, I just felt really good going into it.
I love it. And you did Stinger a month before Desert Solstice, and that was
Yeah,
your actual first attempt at a track race?
that's right. Yeah, I forgot about that. Yes. So I did the Stinger 6 hour. Because I was looking at running on a track for 24 hours and was pretty nervous about what that looked like. And so I'd done some long runs, but nothing more than like 20 miles on the track, which is a lot different than 24 hours. And so I wanted to do a good challenge in a race setting. And luckily the Stinger was close by. It's a great race, and sadly it's not around anymore. Um, yeah, that was my first ever race on a track of any kind. Um, and it went great. It was really fun. Like Zach Bitter was there. I got to meet him at the beginning. Got to chase him around. I could keep up with Zach's 24-hour pace during my 6 hour pace, so that was kind of fun. Yeah, it went really great, which was like another great confidence boost before the big race.
Yeah, I mean that's an awesome performance too for your very first track race. You ran 44 miles in 6 hours,
Yeah.
and looks like you won the overall 6 hours. So how cool! And then even at
Thanks.
Jackpot, you ran, like you said, you PR'd your 100 miler by like 5 hours. You were second female, fourth overall, 14 hours, 46 minutes. You truly did not have but like a month to switch gears and train for Jackpot. So is that the only time that you really got to work on speed up to Jackpot, was just that 1 month?
Yeah, we because after No Business was like what, late October.
Yep.
We
Yes.
took a little bit of rest and it's holidays and that's all that. So we like I ran, but like nothing crazy serious. And we weren't taking Bandera really serious. It was just kind of like go out and have a girls trip, get a qualifier in. So yeah, I had a pretty short training block for Jackpot for sure. So I was definitely encouraged by how well that went, considering the like relative lack of focus I had for that beforehand.
Do you feel like your body responds better to volume or speed?
Speed. I don't ever. I mean, I think I've gotten better with volume since I've had a coach kind of helping me work through that.
Mhm.
When I tried to do it on my own, I always ended up injured. I've done a better job, but I never hit the volume that a lot of the people hit that are like my teammates in France are hitting way bigger weeks. I try not to look at their Strava's too closely. It's like, how do they do it? I don't know. But I think just quality speed work is like really, really important.
Oh, I agree.
Yeah.
Agree. Yeah, and I don't do a lot of volume either compared to, I mean,
No.
when I train for 100, like my peak mileage is like 60 or 70 miles
Yeah.
down in there.
Yeah,
I
I'd
mean, I know
I'd
people
peak
that
around
like hit,
70, 80. Yeah,
yeah.
that's about it.
I mean,
Yeah.
there's some people around like 120, and
Yeah.
I'm just like, oof.
I don't have the time for that.
Yeah.
Unfortunately.
Yeah.
I don't know how you get the time. That's
Yeah.
exactly right. Like I
I,
can
I
barely
don't
do
love
either.
60
to.
or 70.
Yeah.
I mean, kudos to you though. How awesome to just go a month later and crush that. So when you started with Jackpot, a question for this and then a question for Desert Solstice, but the first question is at Jackpot, like, did you have a pace strategy that you were going to try to like, what was your like strategy overall? Were you trying to like stay below a certain heart rate or just a certain pace?
I don't do well with heart rate, like really paying attention to heart rate. I do fine with effort. Like I can tell how I feel. I can tell if this feels hard, if it feels easy. But I don't like constantly being tied to looking at my watch and like keeping an eyeball on it. I don't like to just like be glued to my watch for pace or for heart rate, honestly. But I feel like I do a pretty good job of reeling in my effort and just kind of knowing if that feels comfortable. But yeah, the goal was just kind of like hit the pace I needed to hit and then just see how long I could hang on to it. And it just like I could do it a lot longer than I thought I could. I was really surprised that I thought I would like keep that pace for 50 miles and then just like tank. But I still felt fine at 50. I still felt fine at 70. Mentally you start getting tired at 80. And then uh, you slow off a little bit. But honestly, my pace kept like a lot stronger than I expected it to during that. So I was like encouraged by how resilient my legs were, and like maybe that could have gone faster. I don't know, but
Awesome.
yeah.
Like that's so awesome. Did
Yeah.
you have like any really hard moments that really you really struggled during the Jackpot that you had to fight through?
Yeah, it was probably like 60, 65, somewhere in there. It's late in the miles and you still got a long way to go. And they were having some kind of clock issue and they messed up like they messed up everybody's laps. And for like I don't know, a good hour, we didn't know like if they were gonna fix it, if there was gonna be a way to track what we've been doing in the meantime. And then when it all came back online, it was wrong. So you're just doing laps and catching glimpses of the screen as you go by, and you're like, no, that's wrong. No, that's wrong. No, like they don't have it right. I'm like, oh my gosh, they just took away 5 laps.
Man.
So it's a little bit of a mental like blow deep into a race to be like, wait, I have to run 5 more miles than I thought I'd. So that was kind of tough. They finally got it all figured out and it was right, but it was just there was a long time there where it was like, okay, is this gonna be all right? Uh, so I struggled with that because it was just, I don't know, like you're just like finding every little thing you can to hang on at those stages, and it was like any little thing could also break you. So I tried not to let it break me.
Absolutely, totally understand. Um, but I mean, that is definitely stressful when you're running by and you can see that you're missing like 5 laps. That starts getting in your head,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
that's not. And then you're like, oh no, I'm going to have to explain why the laps are wrong, and now I'm
Yeah,
not going to get, I may not get the extra. So I get it. It's Man, that's unfortunate. That's stressful on them too. I can't imagine how much
yeah,
they were freaking out
Oh
because
yeah.
we time our own races, so I totally understand
Yep.
that.
yeah. I'm sure they were freaking out and having a rough day.
Oh yeah. Hey, that's why like during our races is like timing issues. Go see David.
Yeah,
David will fix all of that.
yeah. I don't want anything to do with
Like,
that.
hold on,
Yeah,
let's drop this down, and when David gets back over here,
Yeah.
we'll go back over this.
Yeah, when
yeah. One
I've
second.
gone for a little while and I come back, I'll usually have like a list of notes, or Micah or Matt or someone will be standing there like, so and so number 11 on the bib, we got to fix him. They're missing a lap, and this guy didn't scan, and I'm like,
Okay. That feels very stressful, and people can get real ornery about that too. So I
oh
can only
yeah.
imagine the stress.
Yeah, and we're gonna do, speaking of that, we're gonna do our very first actual, like, we're getting the course certified now, but we're doing like a little half-mile loop at World's Fair Park in Knoxville, and we're getting it certified, and we're gonna make it a USATF event. And like
Nice.
I'm already ordering extra timing stuff now because I'm like, we're not gonna have this happen. Like we're gonna have a
Yeah,
backup to the backup to the backup. Like
yeah.
I'm not doing that.
That's great.
Just
Well, that's exciting to hear because there's not enough races like that are sanctioned and all that stuff.
Yeah.
So I'm like
absolutely.
always happy to hear more races out there popping up.
Well, good. You'll have to check it
Yeah.
out at some
Yeah.
point. You've got a busy schedule, I think, during that time right now.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Um, but it's that's just an awesome performance from you, and to go from never really getting the opportunity to do speed work and never even running a track race to all of a sudden, beginning of the year, you run your very first like PR 100 miler under 15 hours, and then at the end of the year you beat it.
Yeah, I didn't expect to beat it. That wasn't the goal. That wasn't the plan for sure.
So
Uh,
you had to have
yeah.
some confidence just from your performance at Jackpot for Desert Solstice, but with Desert Solstice, did you have the same plan going in, just you were going to run by effort, or did you have paces you were going to try to hit to make sure you hit those mileage numbers?
No, I mean, I knew what my pace, I don't like to say, okay, you have to hit this pace. Like in training, I don't want my intervals to be spelled out in paces for me. I like it in effort. And that gives you the freeway to like, okay, well, today I don't have it. So this effort is this pace, and that's all you're going to get. Sorry. But some days that effort can you can shine and you just like can do something you never expected to do. And you would never have done that if you were prescribed a pace and you just go to that pace. So I really like having an effort prescribed. So I don't, even for a race, I don't want a pace prescribed. But I do know what the overall pace is that I need to achieve the mileage goal that I need. And I have like the cumulative average pace on my watch in the bottom corner that I can watch. And so I know what I need, I know where I am. And so I just kind of adjust based on that. Just keep an eyeball on that the whole time, but keep a pace that's like an effort that's doable that I know it can sustain, and then hope that that lands. Hopefully those come together on that day.
Yeah, it makes sense.
Yeah.
And what do you do? What was your fueling strategy?
I'm pretty basic. I don't handle solid food very well during a race. I basically just use gels, and I like to keep my electrolytes or like my hydration and my fueling, like carbs or calories separate. And so it's just gels and then hydration fluids, but not like calories in the fluids, just literally the hydration electrolytes. So I just had gels every like 25 minutes, I think. So not quite. It's like a little more than 2 per hour, but not quite 3 per hour. And then just drink to thirst basically. And I would have mostly electrolytes. Every now and then I would get a bottle with just plain water, just because you just want that.
Yeah.
How did you come to 25 minutes?
Because I just tried different things. 30 minutes is too long. 20 minutes, I just get like, it just comes up so fast, and like, I don't want to take another gel yet, you know? So, like, the in between is kind of a happy medium, but 30 minutes is too long for me. So, um, I just landed on 25 in training, and that worked.
Well, the reason I ask is if I do what you're talking about and I just do like just electrolytes, no carbs or nothing in my bottle, just water and electrolytes, and I do gels, I'm exactly 25 minutes
So
too.
you're like, oh, funny.
If
Yeah.
I go 30, I will crash like
Yeah.
so hard. I can't even keep going. And
Yeah.
there was a year that I'd done a bunch of hundreds in a row, and I never experienced that till I was like experimenting. I experimented with a different gel every race.
Yeah, you did.
Uh-huh.
And I basically learned at that point, like I had to take a gel every 20 to 25 minutes, or if I got to 30 minutes, I would crash. And
Yeah.
it's just funny. I've never heard anybody else say 25 minutes. So
Oh, that's really funny. Yeah. No, it's like it's a good time. And if I'm like feeling a little like behind, I'll push the timeline up and do every 20 minutes or something. But yeah, 30, I can't go that long. I
you know,
crashed you.
and it seems like now though, one of the big trends, I was watching this, it might have been at Western States. I think it was at Western States, where I mean, people just come in and slam like 3 gels,
Yeah.
and then turn
hmm
around and run out. And I'm just like, I'm
hmm
pretty sure I would puke everywhere because I just don't even want to take 3 gels
No.
at once. You know, like
Yeah, yeah. I've done it for sure when I'm feeling like really behind and like just like you're really kind of struggling. I mean, it will put a kick in your pants for sure. It helps.
there you go. I told somebody one day they were running a race, and I said, "Listen, if you get to the point like you feel like you're just everything's wrong and you're going to DNF and you should have never signed up for this race," I said, "Just take a gel."
Mhm.
And they
Yeah,
come to me after the race and they're like, "That worked." I'm like, "I know." I was like, "It's just fuel." I was like, "When you start
yeah.
getting in a bad spot and you start telling yourself how bad you suck, it's usually just because you need food."
Usually, it's hard to remember though. I always
It
remind
really
myself
is.
before the race, but in the race, it's still hard to remember.
That that to me is the hardest part is like, and you were talking about it already. If you're running to a pace or you're running to a heart rate, which you don't do, but you still are looking at your watch to make sure you're taking your fuel on time.
Mom beeps at me.
And when you run 100 miles, math gets hard.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It's
that
like,
gets really hard.
when did I take that gel?
Yeah,
So you
yeah.
got your set to beep.
Yeah, mine beeps every 35 minutes and 40, I think 35 minutes on the road and 45 minutes
Nice.
trail.
I don't want to quit beeping at me. Yeah. The easy thing on the track is like I had crew there, and at some point you're right, like you just get tired and math is really hard. And it was great. Like somewhere after 100 miles, I was done adding up the minutes. But you're like always 2 minutes from your crew, at most. And so they just were able to like do that for me. And I would just, at some point, I would run by and they'd be holding out a gel for me. And I was like, oh, I guess it's time for a gel again, you
Yep.
know? So on
So
like that short course, that's the benefit of that.
that is kind of awesome because you don't have to carry anything.
Yeah.
Uh,
Nothing. Yeah.
but up to Desert Solstice, what was your longest distance? No, just in a race.
I'd done Cocodona a couple years ago.
Okay.
So that would be the longest. And then a bunch of 100 milers, but I think Cocodona was my only like really long run.
Did it feel weird at Desert Solstice hitting 100 miles and knowing you still had to keep running for the 24 hours? Like, was that a
Yeah.
weird
Like you
feeling?
still had 9 hours left. Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
dang.
Yeah. I remember hitting 6 hours into solstice and like everything came flooding down on me, and I somehow looked at the clock and realized like 6 hours is a long time to run. Uh, and I was like, I have 18 hours to go. And
Oh,
I could not wrap my brain around the enormity of that. And I had like, I went into a deep, dark place. Like for a while there, I just could not believe I had 18 hours to go. That seemed like massive. There's just something like, I don't think about the time when I'm on trail. You know, I think about the miles, but there's just no way to escape the time on a fixed time race.
Nope.
So,
Nope.
No, and a track race is, I mean, you say it the nicest way ever, but it is miserable sometimes
yeah.
because like you're like when you finally realize, you know, when you do like finally realize like that, like I've been running 18 hours and I still have 6 more hours to run, like that hits you and you're just like, oh, this sucks. Like, but then you
Yeah.
keep doing it and the next day you're like, hey, it wasn't that bad.
Oh,
But
honestly.
when
Yeah.
you're doing
Yeah.
it, it's like,
Yeah.
oh, it's so
Those track
Yeah.
races, I done the Stinger, was it 2022?
mm-hmm.
Oh, nice. Yeah.
Once I finished, I got that 100. I'm like, I'm never to run in the track race ever again.
Yeah,
And
it's a different kind of mental battle for sure. Like I've even shied away from doing a lot of long runs on this training cycle on the track. I just haven't been able to tolerate it the same as I did last year.
yeah,
Well, how did it feel at the end of that race, knowing that you were going to qualify for Team USA?
It was pretty cool. Like I felt like okay, I did it. Like it was just this huge sigh of relief. Like I can't believe I actually did it, and I was above the goal that I had, which I didn't see coming at all. Like I did not expect that whatsoever. But I felt like I did it and I'm safe. Like unless like a lot of girls come out and run that distance in the next couple months, like which I would just be surprised that there'd be that many that would do it. I was like, I felt pretty safe, and that was oh, that was pretty cool.
Well, and Team USA, I mean, the women, you all are loaded.
Yeah,
I
they're
mean, you
stacked.
have some really talented
Yeah,
runners that can go a long way. So that is really cool and really fun for you all. You're going to be very competitive in this.
I think so. I think we have a really good team. I'm really excited to
Yeah.
see what we can do. Yeah.
I love it. Yeah. So, have you started receiving any of your Team USA swag or gear yet?
Yes, we just got it last week. We got a giant. I came home from work and had a giant suitcase on my front porch, and I don't know, probably had 50 plus pieces of gear in there, between shirts and shorts and jumpsuits and socks and hats and like anything you can imagine. Just like so many things. That was like one of the coolest days of my life. I think that I'll probably never like, I don't know how to recreate that. Like you grow up watching the Olympics and stuff. I love watching like women's gymnastics, and they would all come out in their little like warm-up suits with their like unitards or whatever on underneath. And I was like, they are the coolest people in the world. Like it's so cool that they all wear the same thing. Like I was never on a team growing up. You know, I've never done like a team thing. So I never had like the team uniform or like everybody wears the same thing. I never had that. So I just thought that was the coolest thing watching growing up, and to see that throughout your whole life, and then like to get the exact same gear that they have, not just like, oh, I have a matching outfit. It's like, no, I have the same gear that those people are getting.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was going
It
to
was
say
really cool.
you really picked a good time to be on a team.
Yeah.
just
Big
go
as
straight.
Happy with it.
Never been on a team, just going straight to Team USA. Like that's friggin'
That's a
awesome.
good team.
Well,
That's
I
a good
think
one. Yeah,
I
thanks.
mean, take it all in because I mean that's just so unreal and just it's a pretty amazing feat in itself just to qualify.
Yeah.
I mean, just to qualify is pretty impressive, but then to also be in the top field going in, that's really cool. So congratulations on
Yes.
that.
Thank you. Thank you so much. It's exciting.
And obviously you just continued to venture on and try new stuff. So tell us all about Ohio's Backyard Ultra. And
Oh yeah, skipped over that. Yeah.
apparently you were the last female standing.
Yes. It was cool. I've been eyeing it because it's one of the closer races that are on like the backyard. I forget all the terms now, but it's on their like coin series or whatever to get into bigs, you know? And I was like in my new like world of trying new things, let's try this other new thing and like investigate and see. I didn't know if I'd be good at it or not, but it seemed interesting enough. And Ohio just seemed like easy enough to get to drive to, and all that stuff. It was a cool experience for sure. Like Harvey Lewis was there, which like how often do you get to race with somebody like that and like spend actual real time on the trails? We did I don't know how many laps we ran together, and chatted and stuff. He's a cool guy for sure. But yeah, it was really fun to try a different format. It is a wildly different and difficult format. I don't know if it's my forte yet. That was like, yeah, my first time doing something like that. And I just felt like the impending stress like never went away. No, normally you just go out and run what you can and just see what happens. You're like you're on the clock all the time, the whole time you're out there. Like get this loop done, and then if you don't get this loop done, you don't get to fuel, you don't get to change your sock or like whatever it is on your list that you want to do. I felt like so stressed the entire time. Like I could never really relax. And then the weather was just awful. It was like the first day, like it was pretty okay, and then like the rain started the first evening, and then like through the night, got really cold and was just kind of like completely miserable, like rain coming at you, like directly at your face, so hard, and like your headlight shining on the raindrops so bright that like you can't see in front of you. I just remember like rain coming in like through my raincoat and just like drenching me inside. It was pretty miserable, honestly. I was hoping to go longer than I did. I was happy to be the last female for sure. You always dream of like the perfect race day, and I had, of course, dreamed of like how long can me and Harvey like go toe to toe and let's see how we do, you know? Didn't work that way, but it was still a really cool experience to get to try a new thing, and I probably learned a whole lot, and maybe one day I'll try it again.
Yeah, I mean, and you know he's a great race director too for the Ohio Backyard
Yeah.
Ultra. He's
Oh
a
my
great
gosh.
race director.
He's
It
so
is the
sweet. Yeah.
it is the worst weather that you could possibly imagine for a backyard. But you know
Yeah.
what's funny is like the people up there that live around that race, it's nothing to them.
Oh no,
Like,
they all act like this was like a regular Tuesday.
oh
And I was
yeah.
like, it's freezing cold and raining. It's pretty gross, guys, you know.
Yeah, I was trying to think what's her name. She ran our race at the fort.
Russo.
Yeah, Jen
Jennifer
Russo.
Russo.
I
She's
mean,
done well there. Yeah.
yeah, so you know, I mean, she lives close to that, I believe, because she puts on. She's a race director as well.
Yep.
And she come and ran one of our races a few years back, and I ran that race with her, the Ohio Backyard Ultra.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, nice.
And she, you know, they just, you know, her and a couple of others, they just act like it was normal, and I'm like, I'm over here freezing. I'm changing clothes like every 5-6 hours because I'm putting on so many layers. I'm sweating through them,
Yeah.
you know, and
Yeah.
that's hard to like do. And like for them, they're just like, no, they're, you know, we're used to it. And I'm like,
Yeah.
Yeah.
No
I
offense.
was in the
No
same boat
offense
as
at
you.
all.
I was the same way. I was watching Harvey. He's like unfazed, and I'm like, the reason I actually missed or like didn't go on the last loop, or ended up that was my last loop. I was trying to change clothes in the tent, and like everything's wet, and I couldn't get my pants on in time. And like I couldn't hobble out to the start line, so I could hear them like counting down, and I was like, wait, you know. And then you like pop out of the tent, and they're all going by, and that was it. Um, yeah, I don't know how they do it, and just like they're just freezing cold and soaking wet. They don't seem to care. So I
yeah.
guess I need to work on my toughness. I'm not there
But you
yet.
know, like I don't know if they come and run in Atlanta or Tennessee, like they may not like the humidity. So
Yeah, they
yeah,
don't like our August
yeah.
weather probably either. Yeah.
Well, I mean that's pretty impressive though for your very first backyard ultra. You go 158 miles.
Yeah.
That's
Oh,
awesome.
thanks.
Awesome. Yeah.
Did
Thanks.
you have a problem going through? So, like your other races where you've done Desert Solstice, you've done 100 milers. Obviously, you're running your own pace, but you don't get to do that in a backyard ultra.
Yeah.
Did you have a problem at night with the breaks? Did you start getting tired or sleepy or fatigued?
No, I wasn't like fast enough to have that much time back at camp to like get sleepy. And I did try a few times to like come back and like sleep a little bit. I just couldn't fall asleep that fast. And I wasn't all that tired, but I was like, I should probably sleep. That seems like the thing to do. I couldn't really sleep. I wasn't all that tired yet. Usually I can make it through a night and be fine. It's like the third night like really gets me.
Did
But I
you
didn't
do?
make it that far.
Well, you made it pretty far though. Did you do gels again, or did you try to eat some real food in this one?
So I tried to eat some more real food in this one, and I don't think it worked for me. Like I probably should have I probably should have stuck to what I know and done more gels, but I also thought it's gonna be so long, I'd probably need more real food. But even like Tahoe and stuff like that, I don't need all that much real food. I do supplement with some real food on the like multi days, but I tried to go heavy on the real food and it did not work for me.
Mm, yeah. Do you have to mix in, like when you're running 24 hours, do you try to mix in real food at all? Or if you're just doing 24 hours, you just stick to gels only?
Just gels only. I would still get like really hungry. Like you've got calories, you've got sugar, but like I'm still hungry. Like at Solstice, I tried to eat some mashed potatoes, but it's also really hard when you're like running to like do that. And I probably should have just walked for a few steps and gotten a few bites in hindsight. And maybe that's what I'll do in France. Sometimes it's good to have just a couple bites of real food. Mashed potatoes or like pancakes go down really easy for
Oh,
some
yeah.
reason.
I love pancakes.
But outside of, yeah, that's about all I can really handle.
Well, just a little bit of like bread or potatoes help to soak up some of that sugar and acid so you don't get like
Yeah,
heartburn, which helps. But um,
yeah,
yeah, mashed potatoes is always a good one.
Yeah.
yeah. And I always like savory better than sweet, so it's always nice to have something salty.
What's your favorite gel? What's your go-to gel?
Lately, I've been using Precision gels, and I really like the flavor. It's so simple and plain, and they have 30 grams of carbs versus 20 that are in a lot of gels. But it's not a crazy amount. Like we're not doing like the crazy, how many carbs can you possibly get in your body in an hour? I'm not into that either. But it's a good in between that gives you a little bit more oomph for each one. And that's really it. And they make a caffeine flavored one too. So you get a little caffeine kick if you want it to.
Yeah, my fiance loves those gels. That's what
Yeah,
she
they are
uses.
good.
Yeah. Oh
Really
yeah.
good.
Well, it's good enough for Mary. It's good enough for me.
She really likes the caffeine ones.
She does.
Yeah, what's funny is Mary does no caffeine ever.
Really?
I'm up every morning drinking coffee, and she's high on water and pancakes. Like that's what she's rolling on. And so when
He's a
she
better
acts,
person than me. Yeah.
when she takes caffeine, like it's like a game changer. So when she takes one of
Uh,
those gels, it really works for her. And I'm like, I need 3 of
yeah.
those.
Yeah, they're just a little supplement, but I usually take caffeine pills, which are like double the caffeine per pop. But
Oh yeah.
you do
Yeah.
that with a caffeine gel, and that's pretty good.
Now we're talking.
Yeah, you're
Yeah.
chasing the caffeine pill with the gel. Yeah,
Yeah, exactly.
Usually
I
the
love it.
energy drink plus the caffeine pill. You're like, you know,
Yeah, see, there you
Yeah.
go. You gotta dual. Yeah, you
yeah.
gotta get it together.
Tell us about, and I don't know a lot about this race, so I'm really interested here. I know where LJ, Georgia is, but I do not know anything about Farrell Mountain 50 miler.
Coyote Oakland, baby.
Well, you wouldn't because it was a first year race last year. So
Ah,
nobody knew much about it, but it's a really cool part of the world. It's on LJ is just kind of like it's not the Appalachian Trail and it's not like I'm trying to think.
Denton
It's
Scott.
kind of in the middle. It's like really the Pinhoti Trail is kind of where it's centered around mostly. It's not far from where a lot of the cool jewel courses and stuff are as well. So you're kind of in a similar area. But I've spent a decent amount of time on those Pinhoti Trail sections up there. It's like, I don't know, it's just like a cool part of the world that's just a little bit different. And it's not as well traveled maybe as some of the other places, like the AT and stuff like that. But I was pretty familiar with it already, and it just seemed like a perfect time, timing wise before, excuse me, before Tahoe. And perfect distance to have just like a good long effort on the trails. And some would say, well, you should do Cruel Jewel as that, which is fair. But this was like a similar distance with a similar, it had like 10,000 feet of gain. It was similar stuff, but it was like a little more low key. I have a really hard time turning off the like competition button,
Yeah.
in a race. And I didn't want to like race as hard as I would need to like race to do well at the Cruel Jewel 50. I wanted like a good long effort without having to like, you know, like really hammer it. So this seemed like a good fit that was a similar time frame and similar like course on numbers wise and stuff like that. It was a really great, it was like Mariah did a really great job, especially as a first year race. I was really impressed at how well it was. The aid stations were great. Like it was she did a really good job. It's going to be a great race. I think it'll be a classic race for sure.
Is that a 50-mile loop? Like it's
I
not
have to
like
remember,
it
it's
looks like
not
it's
one loop.
yeah. I was gonna say it
Go
looks like
ahead.
it's a pretty
Yeah.
big course, but I couldn't quite tell.
Yeah, you definitely, it was like, gosh, my memory's so terrible. I'm getting old. It might have been like two loops that you do twice or something like that. I don't know. That information is available on the internet, and I do not have it in front of me. I can't remember. I cannot remember for the life of me. Um,
April
or
Romeo,
there was
she did
like,
the aid station.
it was like,
Sure.
yeah, I can't remember. Gosh, it's terrible. But it was a good format. Like I feel like you did repeat one section, but it wasn't like too repetitive or anything like that. Like it was a really well done race, I feel like.
Yeah, it looks like it's just like a one loop with a little out and back.
Yeah.
That's pretty
Yeah,
cool.
that sounds, oh, you're right. Yeah, it was one big giant loop and you come back to the start finish and then there was an out and back from there. That's exactly right.
That looks like
Yeah.
a fun 50-miler. I'll have to put that one on the list, especially since it's in Georgia.
Yeah, it's a good one and it's like a even though the numbers look like, oh, 50 miles with 10,000 feet of gain, I felt like it was still quite runnable and like really fun, with some still challenging parts. And the time of year, it's not too miserable outside yet, if you're not full into like summer yet.
Yeah.
So it was nice.
That's awesome. Yeah, we'll have to check that one out. So you had a great performance there. I mean, you won the 50-miler outright.
In 11 and a half hours.
Your 2025 and 2024 year has been a lot of podiums. It's pretty awesome.
Thanks.
And then you do Tahoe 200. So is this your first time doing? You've done Cocodona 250, but had you done Tahoe before?
I DNF'd it the year prior, only like 40
Okay.
miles in. So I would not say I did it. No, I
Yeah.
didn't make it very far.
Well, first
Um,
off, what happened there?
I just was like, I had a really hard time training beforehand. I like physically was like probably the worst I'd felt before a race. We were getting married the month later, and I feel like I just like was not in the headspace to go out and do this, and I was doing it solo, no crew, no pacers. I
Wow.
just kind of had everything stacked against me. Like physically wasn't feeling good, mentally very distracted, nobody out there with me. Which there's a lot of people that do 200 solo. I don't think I'm quite there yet. I've done 100 miler solo, but that's an entirely different, that's one day. It's not multiple nights. And I don't know. I was 20 miles in and crying and was like, this is terrible. And I was like, well, I can't DNF 20 miles. That's embarrassing. I'm like calling, my husband and calling my friend and just like having a pity party for myself and just called it quits. I didn't even make it to an aid station to quit. I had a friend out there with me, but she wasn't at the race. She was just like local in town. And so I just called her. She picked me up on the side of the road, hiked off the trail and just met her on the highway that I saw on the map. And I was like, I'll just meet you at this highway. Just follow my blue dot and come get me. Yeah, I just had a rough day and I didn't have it mentally to make it through the whole thing and I knew it.
Mm. Well,
Called
I mean,
it.
that happens to all of us, though. I mean, I've had several DNFs, so I know exactly how it feels, and especially, um, if you're 40 miles into a 200-mile race, like you're not even
Yeah.
really warmed up. So,
Exactly.
um,
I did not
yeah.
have it in me that day or those
Well,
days.
I mean, you come back in 2025 and you're second female, 66 hours. So you must have had a pretty good redemption run here.
Yeah, yeah, it went a lot better. I actually had a crew. My typical crew is my husband and his brother Phil. So I had them out there. I was a lot better trained, a lot more mentally prepared, and like ready to be out there. Of course, redemption's always a good motivator too. Obviously, I seem to thrive on that.
Yeah, obviously.
Yeah. But yeah, it went smooth. I don't know, like there was nothing. crazy. Like it went super smooth for the first 190 miles.
Oh, wow.
And then everything fell apart. It
Oh,
was,
really?
oh yeah, it was a disaster after that. Like I didn't think I was gonna survive off the mountain for sure. Like uh, it was totally fine until then. I was doing really great and was really happy and I was like gaining on Annie. I was trying to catch Annie. I wasn't that far behind her. Um, and then I got really sleepy. This was like the third night, and I had only slept. I laid down for 10 minutes. I probably slept for 5 of those minutes for the whole time.
Oh, wow.
That was obviously my mistake, is I was so tired. I was falling asleep. And I think I just kind of relaxed because I was like, okay, I'm 10 miles from the end. I, I should finish in second place. This is going to be great. Like maybe I'll catch Annie, maybe I won't, but it's still a good day. And then I just got so sleepy, like fell asleep running on the trails in the night. Like there's no one around me anywhere. And I like kind of woke up and I couldn't figure out who I was. I couldn't figure out why I was in the woods. And I was like, is this what they call the woods? I think I'm in the woods. Why am I in the woods? I didn't know, like, I had no concept that I was in a race or anything. I was like so confused. And I just thought that I kept running in circles. My husband says my tracker kept going down the trail. I don't know. To me, I definitely thought I was doing circles. I finally got to a place where I just like couldn't figure out why I was in this place. And I like sat down on the trail and just like I realized I had a phone in my pack, so I got my phone out and I was like, I need to call somebody. So I just pulled up like favorites and I called Tim and I was like, I don't know who Tim is. That's my husband.
Oh, no.
And I was like, I don't know who this Tim is, but I hope he answers. And I was like, hey, I was like, I don't know who I am. What am I doing? Like, can you like help me figure out what's going on? And of course, he freaks out because he's in no position to help me whatsoever. And so he was like, okay, like you're gonna have to just like sit on the trail. Luckily, you wear trackers in these like long 200s, and he could see like where I was on the map. And he's like, you just have to sit on the trail, and like this guy behind you is a little behind you, but you just have to wait for him to get there and see if he'll let you like follow you in to the finish. And I was like, okay, I don't really know what any of that means. He was like, you should just take a nap while you wait for him. And I was like, yeah, I'm tired. I could sleep. That sounds good. So I laid down, took a nap, laid directly across the trail so that like he couldn't just pass by me. You know, in 200s, the culture very much is like it's trail naps are super normal. You don't wake people up. You just like let them do their thing. And I was like, no, I want him to wake me up. So I laid perpendicular on the trail, like light shining backwards on the trail, like left my headlight on, shining in his face. And so at some point I slept and him and his pacer woke me up. Like, what are you doing? Of course, I had stopped. It's the middle of the night. It's like 30 degrees up on this peak. I'm like way up high on this mountain, like 9,000 feet up. It's freezing cold. I put all my cold layers on. But when I'm moving, I'm warm. And so as soon as they like woke me up, I was like, oh, these are people that are going to help me. And I started just like taking all my clothes off and trying to explain to them, like, I don't know who I am. I need you to help me get to the finish. I'm sure I looked like what a disaster of a human, like they just stumbled upon. And like, why is she getting undressed? What is happening here? But they were really sweet and they let me go with them. Uh, the runner, I'm blanking on his name, but he was feeling really great and like he just went off and left. But his pacer, Stuart Cheddar, who's like the nicest human being alive, stuck with me the rest of the time, like the whole last 10 miles to the end, where I was confused. I couldn't understand why this like stranger was following me in the woods now. And I kept trying to get rid of him. And he's like, no, it's okay. I'll just stay with you. You know, and I was like, no, it's fine. You just go ahead. Like, I had no idea what was happening. But he was really sweet and like guided me through the last bit. And we get to the last climb, which is a pretty big climb. And he looks back and he's like, okay, I don't know how competitive you are. He's like, but third place is right behind us. And this is our last climb. We gotta like power up this. And I was like, I don't know what any of that means, but I feel like I feel like I'm competitive. Like somewhere in me, I'm like, yep, let's do it. So I start powering up this climb. Like he's going so fast. I'm just trying to chase him up here. And at some point, I had the same thought again that we were just like doing circles, you know, and like we weren't getting anywhere. but I also thought that we were like shoveling dirt onto the ground, and that was how the climb was getting higher. Like that's how we were climbing this thing. I was like totally out of my mind. But yeah, he like we got there, he guided me into like the finish line. It was like my little trail angel. Got there and still held on to second place somehow. I don't know how. Um, it was a wild last 10 miles. For like as calm and as like fine as the first 190 was, it was equally as crazy in the last 10.
That is crazy.
That is
What a
wild.
story. When did you finally when did it all start like making sense when you crossed the finish line? Like when did you finally oh, I was in a race and I just got second and it's a big
It
race.
wasn't really till the next day that I was like, I put it together and I was like, so that whole time, I was like, that whole time I was in a race. It took me like definitely the next day and a few days really to piece together all the things, uh, and to like realize that what I experienced in real time wasn't reality. Like it took talking with like my husband and stuff like that, and like piecing all and like Stuart and stuff, and like piecing it all together and be like, oh, what I thought was happening was not actually happening. Um, it was. I've never like been that
Crazy.
delirious. It was crazy.
Man. And yeah, to still get second place, geez.
How close was third place?
She was like 30 or 40 minutes behind me, I think. It wasn't long. Like she had definitely made up some ground and was like chasing me down for sure.
Mm.
Wow.
Probably saw
So
that your tracker wasn't moving for a while. Wow, well, that's amazing.
it's,
I can only imagine what the people at the finish line were thinking because you probably didn't even realize who you were.
no, I didn't. And our trackers weren't working. So on the
Oh.
actual tracker, they had Manuela in front of me, who she was third place. They were tracking her in front and they thought she had passed me. And so the finish line, you're down at this bottom of this like ski lift thing, and like you're coming down this big hill all the way down to the bottom, and all you can see is a headlight. And then as like I got closer, they all thought I was Manuela coming in to finish. And then as I got a little closer, my husband was like, "My wife." He was like, "That's her stride." Like it seemed like nobody knew what was going on, so I fit right in.
Did you know your husband?
Yeah, I did somehow. I knew him
That's
then.
good. That's good.
So that might have been a little awkward.
Yeah, that'd been weird.
Yeah, it's been a little weird.
Well, that's amazing, but wow, that's a scary last 10 miles for
That is,
sure.
yeah.
Yeah. It was
What?
scary to know your brain can go to that kind of a place,
Yeah.
even
And you only slept how long?
like 5 minutes. I was laid down for 10. I don't think I slept the whole time,
Yeah,
so
there's no,
somewhere in there.
I mean, yeah, there's no wonder that you lasted that long, to be honest. That's pretty amazing.
It was pretty dumb.
Well, so how has training been for the race in France now? So, have you been focusing on speed and volume, or have you just been mostly doing the exact same training you did for Desert Solstice?
I've attempted to do the same training for Solstice. It's been kind of the same focus, like get some speed back, keep it fast paced comfortably. Same idea. It just hasn't gone nearly as smoothly, unfortunately. Like it was like a magical training cycle. I think before Solstice, everything clicked, everything felt good. Every time I tried to like hit a pace, I hit it. Just like it just felt great.
Mm-hmm.
This has been kind of the exact opposite, unfortunately. But I don't know. I've been doing the work. I've been putting in the miles and just hoping it pays off. On race day, I've had the last couple weeks. I've had a lot better time and some better runs for sure. And so like you can tell like the fitness is there. I just need the weather to cooperate. I don't know. I've had like my stomach's been like weird and nauseous for like no reason more than normal. Um, which just kind of puts you can't fuel well, then you can't run
Yeah.
well. It's just like this vicious cycle. I wouldn't say I feel as confident as I did before solstice, but as my coach always tells me, like you have all these years of training and all these miles behind you. I haven't stopped training since solstice and since all that time. So that all counts for something. So I'm just hoping I'm hoping it all pays off in race day. I'm hoping I can feel like my last long run was Saturday, and I felt great. Like I felt really great, and I had a faster run than I'd had the entire cycle. And if I can just bring that in and have a piece of that, I think it'll be okay. And just, stay confident that the fitness is still there, even if it hasn't felt great. So
Yeah.
that's
Well,
what I'm counting on.
yeah, like me and you have been talking about. You get good training blocks and bad training blocks, and
Yep.
this one
Yeah,
was a really bad one for me. Like it was just hard. So,
yeah,
so I understand where you're coming from. Like I come in a couple weeks ago, and Mary's like, "How was your run?" I said, "Well, some runs are hard, some runs are harder."
yeah, exactly.
And like it seems like it's a cycle. Sometimes I'll have a really good year, and then I usually have a really bad year. Uh,
Yeah, you said
and
that. Yeah,
I don't know. It seems to be a cycle for me. I don't know why. Some
yeah,
years it's much easier, just like you were talking about. Like last year, you just felt really strong and things were clicking, and then you're just like, what happened from November, December to March of this year? Like what happened?
yeah, yeah. Like I'm doing the same things I always did. I don't understand why is it not working this time.
But I mean, your coach is right though. I mean, we're used to doing hard things. You're gonna have a great performance, like
Yeah.
because you're competitive.
Yep.
And you're
Yeah,
gonna have the mindset, and you're gonna go in, and you're gonna push hard, and you're gonna be gritty, and it may not be the easiest miles, but you'll
yeah,
still be super
yeah.
competitive. I mean, you're too talented to not be.
Well, thank you. No, I'm hoping I mean, you're right. There's the like, my husband called it, he says I'm sick. But it's the competitive piece that like I have a really hard time turning off. That definitely gives you a good drive, while you're out there on race day when you're like, I can only imagine. I've never run anything where you're lining up against different countries and like all that kind of stuff. I'm sure that will be like such a huge mental piece too. So yeah, I don't know, just relying on all the years of experience and all that stuff. And hoping for a good day. You had a great day despite your training block.
Yeah, I did. It was.
Yeah,
I will take it. I will take that all
yeah,
day because I had no idea how that was going to turn out. Uh,
yeah. You did great.
and just like you were talking about though, with your stomach issues, I mean, I don't have a ton of stomach issues, and I had them all over that course the last 20 miles. So I was like,
Oh no.
well, at least we made it 80.
Welcome
Yeah,
to my world.
yeah.
When I saw the picture of him throwing up, I said, "Welcome to my world."
Now you know how I feel.
It was good. And I was excited to finally get that race done because, it was like
Yeah,
Hurricane Helene last year. I didn't
Yeah.
get to do it. And I was like in great shape last year. I was really excited. And then
yeah.
this year I have fought for every mile that I trained
That's
for.
so crazy.
And
Yeah.
I just looked at Mary. We w're driving to Virginia, and I was just kind of quiet. And she said, "I'm glad you're finally getting to run this." And I said, "Yes." I said, "I just want to get this monkey off my back. Like I just want
Yeah.
to do this race." Because I had DNF my last 100 mile or two, and that was bothering me. Um, so it's one of those where you just get in your head, and you're just like, I just want to do one and be done. Like to
Yeah.
Yeah.
check that box and be like, all right, we're back to normal.
100%. Yeah, for sure. No, it's like there's definitely a monkey on your back after something like that. Like
Yeah.
you gotta work through it. And there's only one way to do it.
Absolutely. It's that redemption run.
But yeah, for sure. It feels good.
You're signed up for Cocodona 250,
Going back.
and that's gonna
Yeah.
be fun. That's really cool. But I'm just really excited for you. I mean, 10 days. When do you leave?
We leave this Sunday evening, so like 4 days from now.
Oh, sweet.
Yeah, I'm really excited. So it's like an overnight flight directly straight from here to Barcelona. We land like Monday morning. So hoping we can all get some sleep on the plane, and then I don't know, just like see a few cool things in Barcelona. I've never been to Spain before. So that should be really fun. Just kind of like I want to get there a little early, traveling on a plane for that long. I feel like my legs always get swollen and heavy and time changes and all that stuff. So it
That
Yeah.
gives
that's
us
a
a
long
couple days
flight.
to be
Yeah.
there. Yeah. Yeah. So I just wanted a few days to shake the nerves out and get there and feel better.
That's so awesome. Now, who is the coach for the team?
Pam Smith is like the main coach, or she's the head coach, I guess. There's probably some other title that I'm unclear on. Which she's an absolute legend of in her own right. And then Bob Hearn is the other coach or manager. Both are just like complete legends in their own
Oh
rights
yeah.
and
Yeah.
have had great success at this format specifically and on this team. So they're like really cool people to have there for sure.
Yeah, Bob is so meticulous too. Like I've heard people talk about him, and he's impressive. I mean, just listening to what he can do at Ball State and like those journey runs. I mean,
Yeah,
he's an amazing runner. And I don't know a lot about Pam, but I'll have to look her up now. So I have to.
yeah.
Yeah, that's really fun.
She's cool. She's been really impressive. She was at Solstice as well, and she was running, and she was like really sweet and like really encouraging on course. She was fun to meet. I haven't met Bob yet, but I'm excited to meet him too.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, that's so
Yeah.
cool. Y'all are gonna have so much fun, and do you? I guess you get to do like the whole week together, and then the races that following weekend.
Yeah, the team all meets in Albi on Wednesday. And I think there's like some planned events all those days and dinners together and stuff like that. I'm sure we'll do like some runs together. Um, and then there's like, I didn't realize they do all this, but there's like a flag parade like through the streets of Albi. And then they have like an opening ceremonies, a whole thing like that. So that'll be like the day before
That's
the race.
cool.
That's
So
awesome.
it'll be pretty cool.
Send us some pictures. We want to see. We want to
Yes.
like
Of
post some
course.
videos so we can see them. We got to see it.
Yeah, of course.
That's
Of course.
amazing. That's really cool.
Yeah.
I can't
Yeah, I'm
imagine how
really excited.
excited you are. And just when you just like literally put the singlet on, you're probably going to be so pumped up that you're not even going to have to worry about like mentally focusing or the grind. Like that's going to be so exciting, and especially the first time actually being on a team like that,
Yeah.
and to be representing USA. Like how cool to be your first time doing both at the same time. That's
It's pretty
badass.
cool. Thanks. I'm pretty excited about it. I do think that will help in some of like the low mental places is like, no, you gotta get it together. Like you're here, we're all doing this together. Like you gotta be part of the team. You gotta do what you can for the team. It's not just for me. I think that's gonna be a really cool aspect that I've never truly gotten to experience before. So
Do they
I
do they
think
live stream this thing?
I think so. They haven't sent us links or anything yet, but I think they're supposed to. There's definitely live tracking, but
Well,
to my knowledge, there is supposed to be streaming somewhere.
their Facebook
Cool.
page does a really good job of keeping updated. Like
They do.
even when
Yeah,
it's not like the actual championship, like other races that have got competitive fields, they do a really good job of keeping everybody updated.
yeah, you're right. They do. They do a good
Yeah,
job.
if you share the live stream, we'll share that on the podcast social media pages too, so people can follow along. That's really cool.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, for sure.
Lauren, I'm going to ask you this question. I asked you this the last time you were on the podcast, but we will ask you this one because this question can change year after year after year. But why?
Okay.
Why do you continue to run and push yourself and do the things that you're doing? Getting 190 miles into a race and just forgetting who you are for the last 10 miles and sleeping on the side of the trail. Why
That's a good question.
why continue to do this? What motivates you?
To be honest, I don't know what I said last time, but I will say, uh, like, I don't know, like, what else would you do with your life? Like, I just feel like we have such a short time here on this earth. Like, just be, I don't know, like, see what you can do while you have the chance to do it. And you're not always going to be able to do these things, and like, yes, you might still be alive, but you're not gonna be able to run 24 hours or 100 miles or something fast and this and that. You might be just getting around with your little walker or something. I don't know, like, while you have the capability, and there's so many people that don't have that ability. I don't know, I work in a hospital and I just see the other side of life a lot, and it's like I don't want to take it for granted and I don't want to waste it. So I just want to like use my body to the best of its ability while I have the opportunity to do so. Yeah, yeah.
When did you make the decision to set your goal to try to make the USA team?
It was honestly not long after No Business in 2023, right around the same time they had the last World Championship. And so I was seeing the results of that and the people coming off of that. I don't know, for some reason it just like struck my fancy and I was like, that sounds cool. I remember coming in the kitchen and telling my husband that I wanted to like go for that. And he was like, "What?" Yeah, and I thought it was like such a far stretch, like I'll never make a US team. That's crazy, but I don't know, let's just see it. Let's just try it and go for it. So it's been like a couple years in the making for sure. I don't remember exactly why. I just like saw it and I was like, I think I want to try that.
I mean, that's a cool goal to do, and like
it's a big goal.
that's I've always wanted to try to qualify for Team USA. I just don't want to run on a track. But it's
You don't have to run on a track to do
that's
it,
true.
but yeah.
That's true. But I do want to try in the next year or two. I've actually been talking to Mary
Yeah,
about it, so I don't know if I can actually do it, but we'll see. Um,
do it, do
yeah,
it.
I think it'd be fun. I
Yeah, for
always
sure.
used to watch. It's funny to say because you were talking about Harvey, but when I first got into running, and I'm like you, I started very late in life running. I was in my 30s. I didn't run any. Like the only sport I even played in high
Yeah.
school was a little bit of basketball, a little bit of baseball. That was it. So running to me was new. And then when I started running, I met Greg Armstrong. I started looking him up, and I started seeing all
Oh,
these
cool.
videos of him and Harvey when they did Team USA together, and they were
Yeah.
like hobbling after a 24-hour race, trying to
Like
get in the car
shuffling.
or whatever. And like I was like, well, that would be cool to do one day. And I just never forgot
Yeah.
that thought of watching them two and be like, that'd be cool to do one day.
Yeah.
That's
And
really cool.
then to see
Yeah.
some other people do it, I'm like, yeah, it's doable. And to watch you and Meg do it, we had you both on the podcast. We know you, and we've been, following your journey since we had you on the podcast, and it's been fun to see. So to know people that are actually doing it, it's so fun and makes it even better for us to get to watch it and keep up with it.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah.
All right. The next question is, what was the feeling once you finally realized that you were actually going to make the team?
It never really felt real, and in some ways it still doesn't feel real. It felt like kind of like a weight lifted, like a relief. Oh, this thing I've been like wanting to do, I did it. But I also like it was like hard to let myself believe I had done it. It was like really exciting, but like with a side of caution because I didn't really believe it.
Yeah.
Now it'll be surreal when you actually put that on here soon.
Oh, yeah.
That's all.
Yeah, I think it won't feel real. It still doesn't really. I think it'll be like maybe when I get there and like am around it all, maybe
She
that will.
walks off that plane. She like, I am here.
Yeah, when she's with her team.
Yeah.
When she's with her team,
Yeah,
that's when it's going to be like, oh, this is cool.
yeah, I think so for sure.
The next one is, what kind of shoes do you use for, to try to do that on the track?
That's a funny story too. I don't know. It's like it's been a rotating like thing for me too. Like nutrition, all that stuff changes. It turns out that there are rules with USATF, or I guess like the international rules. I should probably know the answer to that, but there are rules about what your shoes can look like, and I didn't know that going into Solstice, and I had planned to wear this pair of Asics that I had gotten, but I found out after traveling to Phoenix, flying there with my luggage, that all the shoes I brought with me were illegal. The stack height was too high. I didn't know what stack height was, and I didn't know that that was a rule against it. So I actually had to buy shoes like I'd never worn the day before and wore those, which is why I had so many blisters and stuff. So don't do that.
Don't do that.
At Solstice, I was wearing some Sauconys, and then I ended up changing into a pair of Sauconys that I had that were like the Endorphin Pro, like the carbon plated shoe,
Mm-hmm.
which I didn't want to wear the whole time because I thought that would really hurt my feet. But I ended up putting them on for like the last 30 miles because the blisters from the new shoes were so bad. So there's that. And then I've been playing around with different brands. I've run in them out to coast several times after watching honestly Meg running them so much. I was like, there's got to be something to these, and they are like really comfortable and great. And then I've actually tried the Speedlands recently,
Mm-hmm.
and they were actually kind enough. So I met Kevin, one of the owners of Speedland. I met him actually at Western States. And then like a month later, I met him again. We ran into each other again at Cascade Crest, where I was crewing and pacing my brother-in-law, the Cascade Crest 100. Speedlane was like the sponsor. So I got to talk to Kevin again, and he ended up making me a pair of like custom shoes for Worlds to take with me. And so like they're a pair of Speedlands, like has my name on it. He stitched like an American flag on there.
Oh, how
Uh,
cool.
they're really cool. So I'll be wearing those.
Oh, that is awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
good.
That's very
Yeah,
thoughtful.
it was really sweet.
Yeah. That's pretty cool. I wore 2 pair of the Cam Hanes ones. I like them. The little wide,
Yeah,
little box is a little wide for me. But
yeah,
everything else is great. If they just had
yeah.
the narrow toe box. But
The narrow toe box. See, and I like the wide toe box because I don't know, I have big toes and they just like crowd each other. So that they work. But yeah, I like not having to like tie your laces and just knowing they're like not going to come untied is really nice
yes, Boa
too.
is awesome. Yeah.
Yeah,
My last
they're fun.
question is: how do you like your new Ultra Spire Mountain race belt? Because
It's so
I wrote
cool.
you about
Yeah,
that, and when I saw it, I'm like, oh, this looks awesome.
yeah, it's great. I love it. Like I've been wearing, especially with this training, on the roads and flat and fast stuff. I've been wearing the belt so much more, especially in the summertime. It's so nice to have a pack off your shoulders and just have a little bit of stuff. But I've been wearing the regular Ultraspire race belt and then the mountain one, especially when I go on big long out and back ones. I've been able to carry like a liter and a half of water in a belt along with enough gels for like a long run.
Oh wow.
It's really cool. It's really comfortable too, and it just fits like so much stuff. And I have all these like pockets and compartments. Um, so I like both belts. But it's crazy. Do you like yours?
I haven't got it. I just when I saw yours,
Oh,
and then I went
dang.
to order
Yeah.
it. I went on there,
Yeah.
and they were out of stock.
Oh,
And
dang.
then
Oh, I'm sure they'll make more.
I
Yeah.
emailed them, and they said sometime in October. So I haven't checked back,
Okay.
but
Okay. Well, try it again. They're great. I really enjoyed it.
they look
It-
good. It looks good. Like
I
it
haven't
holds a
seen it. I'll
lot.
have to look at it.
Oh,
That's what I
it's
raced
sweet.
Yeti in that single bottle Ultra Spire
Oh, this
pack.
thing looked like it could fit
Yeah,
everything in it. Like
I'll have to look at it.
you
they
can
made
put
it.
anything.
Did they
Yeah.
make it for Cocodona? Is that when they tested it? Was during Cocodona?
I think so. I think
think
you're right.
I think
Yeah,
that's what
I
I
do think
saw
so.
them advertising.
Yeah.
Is they tested it during Cocodona, so it looked
Which
good.
is a cool idea because even like you said, Cam Hanes, like I saw in Cocodona on the live stream, he was just wearing a race belt during Cocodona. I thought it was like the wildest thing I'd ever seen, no pack or anything. I'm like, that's actually a great idea.
Yeah.
Yeah.
To take all the gear off. You know, it's so heavy. Those packs get so heavy.
Yes.
Yeah, that will wear you down. But you got to have a crew to do that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
That, or if you
for
can
sure.
make it to the last like 10 or so miles and just drop everything off with your crew, so you ain't got to carry it. I think that'd be really great. Like in
Yeah,
100, just drop everything off and just wear the belt.
and just be done with it. Yeah, for sure.
Well, Lauren, that's all that we have. Do you have any questions for us?
Oh gosh, I wasn't expecting to ask questions. I
Don't
don't know.
worry.
What are you guys excited about next? What are you
Don't,
doing next?
everybody has that reaction, so don't worry.
Yeah, okay, good.
Go ahead, Matt.
Well, I got like a 50K coming up in October that I always do. But I mentioned
Nice.
earlier that I did that track race in 2022, and I said I'll never do one again. Well, I'm coming to Georgia in November to do another one, so
Oh,
they
nice. Which
got
one is it?
us the Circle. It's a
Okay, yeah, yeah.
USATF certified and all that, but they got me with the Chattanooga Championship, so I gotta go.
All right.
Gotta go
You
run.
can do it.
Yeah, is that part of
Okay,
the
nice.
Chattanooga Track Club?
Yeah, it's part of the Chattanooga Track Club, and they got that 3 race series. If you do a backyard, a timed event, and a track race, you qualify for the Chattanooga Ultra Championship.
David
Oh, that's
Langmar do
cool.
that one?
Yeah, David Lando's all 3.
He's a good racetrack.
Okay. Yeah, I think somebody was telling me about that. I ran Lady of the Lake a couple weeks ago,
Mhm.
just a little timed race, and then somebody was talking about that race. It sounded really cool.
Yep. So
Yeah, that's in
That'll
your
be fun.
backyard, right?
I'll be there.
Yeah, yeah. If you need crew or anything, let me know.
You can hand him gels while he pukes.
I'm like, Lauren,
Yeah.
what am I doing here? Why can't I not run
Yeah.
faster?
I'll pat your back while you puke. It'll be great.
Well, that'll start early. So we're gonna look at 6 hour mark, and that's going to start
Yeah.
happening.
All right. Well, get out of your system and then recover.
Oh no, it
Puke in
doesn't
your
go.
alley.
It doesn't go away. It'll last.
Oh no.
When he pukes a
Really?
lot.
It'll last for 20.
He keeps
Oh
running.
no.
He'll puke
I'll
and
still
run. So
yeah, but it,
All right. Well,
yeah.
as long as you can keep running, I guess that's good.
that's fun stuff.
And I have no idea what I'm going to do. I'm still thinking about
No.
it. I did.
Oh, you're still recovering a little bit. Yeah.
Yeti 100. And then I told Mary, I was like, I just want to take a week off and not do anything. So I didn't run any last week. I've already ran a couple times this week. But I don't really know what I want to do. So I don't know.
Yeah.
I'm going to think about it.
He needs
Yeah.
he needs to get back to the trails, Lauren. That's what he needs to do. Get back
All right.
on
Get back to the trails. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
so he can come
They're
run
always
with me.
fun. Yeah, I know. I'm running with two of my girlfriends tomorrow, and I was like, "Sorry guys, we're gonna have to keep it flat on the
Yep.
road section." And
Flat and fast.
yeah, so
Yep.
I think they're excited for me to get back on the trails. So it's fun to do both. It's fun to change it up.
Yeah.
You know.
I think I do 50, like every week it's usually 50-50.
Yeah.
Road and
Oh,
trail.
very nice.
That's what
Yeah.
It was funny
Yeah.
before I ran Yeti 100. I told Mary, I was like, I'm going to do Lookout 50.
Nice.
Not
Yeah.
because I've never done it. It's in Chattanooga.
Yeah.
It's not far from us. I was like, I'm going to
No.
do it.
Yeah.
And then I did Yeti, and I'm like, I'm not sure I want to do Lookout. I don't know if I want to race anything else this
Okay.
year.
They got an 18 board.
Yeah.
They got
I
an 18.
don't think I want to race. I think I just want to run,
I
and
think,
not have
well,
a
I think
race.
that's important. That's important to listen to if you're like feeling that. Like, I think listen to it.
Yeah.
Otherwise, you get burned out.
I think I need to
Just-
just pause and just like try to enjoy running and
Yeah.
get back to
Yeah.
normal and not be
Yeah.
trying to push so hard to train all the time. Because
Yeah.
that kind of sometimes it just sucks the fun out. Every now and then you got to reset.
Yeah.
and I
Like
need to
one
reset.
thing that I like to do is like, I do race a lot, but a lot of those races are not races. They're just going
Yeah.
out there and hanging out with everybody and then,
Yeah.
running. So I really enjoy doing that.
I agree.
think
That's what I
that
did
makes it
this
fun.
4-hour race like 2 weeks ago because I've just been having such a bad time training. And I was like, I just need to go run with people and like
Yep.
be out of my like slump.
Yep.
It's just fun to get out there and
Yeah.
just be with people and have fun and,
Yeah.
and enjoy.
Yeah, 'cause you don't
that.
always have to go out there and go 100. I mean, you go out
Yeah,
there and
for sure.
work on just a steady pace for the whole time and just enjoy it.
Yeah,
I'm
definitely.
just going to work a couple of races of volunteers. So we've got that coming up.
We
We're
got
gonna-
that too.
Yeah,
We
no
got lots of
business.
those.
We're gonna work
Nice.
Firewater, which are the same weekend. So we're going to split up and do those.
nice.
And then Mary's got a couple of athletes. She's got a crew at the Virginia
Virginia
race. So
100.
we're going to go to that this weekend and help there, and just be in the community.
Yeah.
That's the best part about
Yeah,
this sport is the people. So it'd be
Yeah.
fun to be around
I agree.
some of them.
Yeah, just be around the community, be around the people. And I feel like just let that feed your soul and get your fire back, and it'll happen.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it's funny. I said I had all these races I'd talked about for next year. Like I told Mary, I was like, I want to do Lookout 50, and then the first year I'm going to do Black Toe, the 24-hour run from John Harden, and like I was like, and now I'm like, nope, I don't know what I'm doing.
That's okay. That's an
No.
okay place to be. You don't have to know.
I don't get there very often, so this is a very,
Yeah.
very, when I do feel like this, I should let it happen.
Yeah. I think that's just your body telling you it's ready for a break.
Yeah,
You know.
I think so.
Yeah.
But I'll be back to it. I'm going to keep running because that's really what matters. Like I just want to
Yeah.
run and enjoy my runs.
Yeah.
And then
for
I'll,
sure.
me and Matt and Mary will be cheering you on from the sidelines
Oh,
in
yeah.
10 days. So that will be fun.
Thank you.
Can't wait.
Thank you. I'm excited.
We'll be following along on that one for sure. Well, Lauren,
Thank you,
thank you
thank you.
so much for taking the time to do the podcast, and we wish you the best. We can't
Absolutely.
wait to see what you do and represent Team USA. And no matter what, we're gonna cheer you on, and we know you're gonna go out there and give it everything you got, and that's really all that matters.
I got one more question. How many people on the team are from the East Coast?
Myself and Cole Crosby, I think, is all.
Okay.
We got some Texas people, and I think most everybody else is out west. Where's Jenny Hoffman from? She's East Coast. Is she Boston?
That name is familiar.
I don't know. USA.
She ran like Transcon. She ran across the country. She's been on the team a couple times before. I think she's East Coast as well.
Okay.
Yeah. And hopefully I'm not missing anybody else.
So there's a
So
couple.
yeah,
That's good.
there's a couple of us. Yeah, yeah, we made it in there.
Represent well.
Yeah, yeah. Hopefully.
Well, Lauren, thank you so much, and we appreciate you taking the time to do this.
Yes.
And for people that don't know, Lauren rushed straight home from work to jump straight on this podcast. So, and then that made her update the app, so she in the middle of that, she's like texting. So she made it all work for us, so that she could share a little bit of this journey. So we hope you all enjoyed the podcast. And Lauren, thank you so much.
Yeah, thank you guys so much for having me.